Hi guys, welcome back to GreyWolf TV. We are back with Person of Interest on to episode 8 of season 5. So that last episode has seen Shaw's reluctance, of course, to give up and to give in has lasted this long, and probably a lot longer than it would for most. But her disconnect between the amount of simulations that they've run on her and what's real and what isn't has finally broken down, and with drastic consequences with what it showed us. I'm not quite sure, but I mean, she was literally at the point of deciding to just end it all until she got that message through from Root. It was kind of an amalgam of the episode being able for her to do that in the first place with the POI of the week kind of thing. It was well written, enjoyed it. I want to see more. I don't know where this is going to end. I think it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. I don't know what's happening with Fusco. And as regards just the amount of control that Samaritan has and the fact that our machine doesn't seem to want to... It seems as though it's certain lines it knows it doesn't want to cross, even though it's now been open sourced. I don't know. Right, let's carry on. Episode 8. Yeah, glass. Are you not tiring of this as much as she is? How the hell did he spot that?
According to his calendar, Coe was supposed to be in London tomorrow afternoon.
So why did he leave the airport? What the hell is he doing in this neighborhood?
I'm in New York, booked on the next flight out. Just have to take care of that errand first.
We'll make it quick and don't miss that plane.
You mean the machine's lost every hypothetical
all
round to
20, 100, trillion, billion of them, yeah.
Without predicted.
Perhaps we should try altering one of the variables for the sake of humanity.
Bad news, Finch. Our number just checked into the ER.
The emergency room? What happened?
Yeah, he didn't look too good.
He's sick.
Oh, that's
Are
not
we
right.
out of antivirals?
Now that we've joined the 21st century and connected to the National Healthcare Database, a few clicks and voila.
I've seen worse cat scratches.
No, quit your whining or I'll have Polly give you a real reason to be here.
Please tell me it's just
traveled outside of the
normal
country recently?
flu. No. Yes, you're lying.
They can give you an antiviral to help your immune system fight off the infection.
I'm gonna head back to the precinct.
The machine doesn't point us towards sick people, Mr. Reese. If we receive Coe's number, he's either a victim
for
or
a
a
different
perpetrator.
reason.
So keep a close watch.
They tried me as an adult.
You weren't 17 when you stabbed another inmate, and 7 years turned into 12.
Make up for lost time.
I always think
Happy
it's
for your death,
worth
I really am.
at least
But
giving
I've
somebody a
done the math.
second chance.
3 out of every 4 convicts get
Till they
rearrested
show you they
within
shouldn't.
5 years. I'm sorry, but I can't go through that again.
There's one of the bodies down there. Belonged to your business partner, Bruce. Nothing official anywhere near that location.
Truck says in construction.
You got contacts in that business. Trucks are about to be hijacked. Trucks that are rented off the books. Thanks, I'll let you know.
Be careful out there, detective. Threat can come from anywhere.
He looks like he's going to keel over. There he goes.
No pulse. Defib!
Oh, Christ, you're going to end up with a quarantine zone here.
Clear!
Has he been poisoned?
Nothing.
He's fucking dead.
We lost him.
It doesn't make any sense.
Joburg.
President.
South Africa.
Johannesburg. That's not an island.
No, it's more like hell.
We're not done with you yet.
This place is like some twisted social experiment in violence.
Yeah. I never was big on prison grab.
Then you're going to have to get him to come to you.
Either he didn't give us the whole story, or he just had the most allergic reaction to antivirals known to man.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but especially in the US with you guys having the CDC, would that not initiate that doctor to literally, like, set off a red alarm with that someone's come in with flu-like symptoms, and within a matter of hours before they even leave the hospital, they're dead, bleeding from the mouth, and you've got God knows how many other patients in here showing the first sign of symptoms that could possibly be similar. Not necessarily connected, but could be similar, and if he was contagious, he's infected everyone in this emergency ward. Should she not be raising the alarm with this and then trying to find out any connecting flights that he's come from, or have more official bodies come in here and do that preliminary work? I mean, come on.
Standard protocol is we lock this place down until we know what we're dealing with.
Thank you.
Last time we had an outbreak of swine flu here, we lost 3 patients.
Grab the ambulance bay doors. I'll get the other entrances.
Roger. 10-4, I'm on it. Wait.
Yeah, all right, relax.
Under what authority can we stop people from leaving?
The Patriot Act.
Where can I find a Detective Fusco?
Fusco, over here.
Fusco.
Am I explaining this?
One of your trucks didn't have a permit for driving to a residential area.
How can I help you, Detective?
Let's talk about some truck rentals in the vicinity of some underground tunnels. This is Detective Fusco over at the 8th. I need you to run a commercial driver's license for me. 154-000-685.
Got it. 1 second.
What's so urgent that you had to meet today?
I'm having second thoughts about the job. Next thing you know, I'm tailing a guy who's being protected by an NYPD detective.
City's had its fair share of corrupt cops.
Yeah, dirty cops are one thing, dead girls another. And who do I work for, exactly?
Samaritan.
We help make life better for people.
How much longer the natives have grown restless?
Until we get the lab results and know what we're dealing with, I can't take any chances.
Why did the fucking media always do this? I know it's their job to report on stuff, but they always pick the very first opportune moment to go ahead with the story and report it, to tell the whole frigging planet and not consider those that are directly involved, that are inside there with technology to be able to hear the report that you've just said, a highly contagious virus. Anyone hears that, people panic.
That's how the zombie apocalypse started.
See? Zombie apocalypse.
We out of here.
There you go, and it starts.
Out of my way.
Hey, Finch. Police no route. Looks like we have a reliable partner.
Oh, no.
Co's blood work just came in.
Uh-oh.
H5N1. Oh, no. Contagious one.
What are we dealing with here,
You
Doc?
killed him.
Avian flu kills 60% of people within 72 hours.
A job.
Friends, I can't leave behind.
Wow.
I can respect that.
Samuel.
Samin.
Look, man, if you're ever in New York, look me up.
An update on the ongoing situation inside a local area hospital. A guard on alert.
Mr. Ko was infected, waylaid, and turned into a potential weapon of mass destruction. But
I think just taking this as like a out of the episode for a minute and the series as to what it is, just this in particular, this subject. It is virtually impossible to stop the media doing what they've just frigging done, which is what happens all the time. I think a hospital in particular, you can't do it everywhere because you don't have the resources, you don't have the laws behind you. But I think the minute, like that woman said she needed to lock the place down, I think part of a lockdown should really need to be that you just completely dampen the entire area like a Faraday cage, because if you allow people to be able to still communicate and access the news and access YouTube and all the media outlets, they get wind of what they're saying outside, which is what makes them all inside lose it.
How do we slow it down? We keep a small batch of antivirals for avian flu in the emergency preparedness stockroom on the other side of the ER. It's no cure, but it can boost the immune system of someone who's infected.
I'll retrieve the antivirals.
Antivirals. I arrived here first. I called dibs. Nah, man, we was there before you.
Be quick, but don't hurry.
It's going to escalate quickly.
Get out of there.
Grab every mask you can find. We're gonna need them all.
The drawer in front of you. Open it. Don't worry. They're not for you. It's not gonna be a problem. Most of the hospital's been evacuated. It's under quarantine.
Yeah, they're sending you in.
Detective Fusco with the 8th. Got a real nightmare here. I need you to close the gap in that perimeter over there. I'm on it.
Come on, there's gotta be something.
I don't think so.
Next time, steal meds that work.
Ms. Groves, any updates?
I used the open system to track down the shipments of antivirals that were injected into Co. Were rerouted to a lab in Albany that has since shut its doors.
So who benefits from creating an outbreak? Brilliant. There's only one other entity capable of performing that caliber of sophisticated calculation.
Correct.
Samaritan. I think I know why.
Created the outbreak to target the 3 people with direct knowledge of its actions. But surely, an outbreak is overkill. No, please, we need those antivirals.
Fuck. Well, he's in on it.
You just destroyed our only chance of fighting the virus.
No. I just ushered in the future.
Knowing this is just another simulation.
Well, this axe I lifted last month when I took out 2 of your orderlies feels pretty real to me. In South Africa, no less. Is this just another one of your lame arguments to convince me that Samaritan is the good ASI?
For example, I'm sure you can recall killing your friend, John Reese.
I had no way of knowing that wasn't a simulation.
Reality denied comes back to haunt.
That's the problem.
This is all just a dream.
I don't
I just really had to get that out of my system. But until then, why not a little joyride?
What's inside of it?
Blood sample from a patient that passed away this morning in the ER.
I can't kill those people. I'd be killing not only them, but the people they're trying to save.
They were collected by police last week at the scene of an armed robbery. Remember your house painting partner? He was arrested. What's
They've
gonna
got
be,
you
Jeff?
by the short and curlies.
You've doomed us all by destroying those antivirals.
To the contrary, I'm gonna save all of you. All these antiquated doctors and nurses standing in the way. Misdiagnosis.
Is that what you've been told?
Human fallibility. They're the disease.
Hello?
Actually, he's correct. It is your boss, and she has a message for you. Envol and ethylene oxide.
There. Envol.
Nice.
You can't stop what's coming.
Here, keep an eye on him.
Can try.
I have to go tell the others.
In there, Harry. She's working on something. Oh, come on.
Need to be quick.
I have faith in you.
Careful, careful! No! Did he just infect Fusco with that? God damn it, man! Get that fucking thing off him! Oh,
Help.
Dear God.
My arm.
Her and Fusco. He got the pair of them.
Sorry, Doc, but I can't let you...
So, put under pressure with nowhere to turn, is still that same man.
CDC just arrived. That guy who stabbed Carol, could he be spreading the virus?
He's an escapee from a psych ward, subject of an ongoing investigation.
New antivirals from a lab at Mount Sinai.
How do we know these will work?
The clever virologist figured it out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Strangely, the lab just experienced a break-in right after an unannounced CDC inspection.
Shares information instead of keeping secrets.
I told you this is for your own good. That nurse at the hospital, she ended up with permanent kidney damage.
Harold, to what do I owe the privilege?
I do really feel they've been
Did you
unfair
speak
to
to
him.
Detective Fusco? I hope the good detective is okay.
He is now.
I have a scar on my chest to prove it. But a little advice. A leader enlists all his resources in war, not just his favorites. War requires sacrifices.
I'll bear that in mind.
You know what your problem is, Harold.
No, tell me.
Underneath all that intellect, you're the darkest of all of us. It's always the quiet ones we need to be afraid of.
I don't get it.
How does your arm feel, Jeff? A little sore? You're what scientists call an elite controller. Some elite controllers contract HIV, but never develop AIDS. Others are immune to Ebola.
And who gets to decide who stays and who goes?
You don't want to know. Because it ain't
After the
her.
news broke of a deadly outbreak, by evaluating their genetic markers,
You're collecting everyone's DNA.
Whatever they
we're
want.
going to ensure that everyone has the same opportunity as you, Jeff.
Yeah, of course. Oh my god.
Scrambling to get tested for a new vaccine. The outbreak has reportedly been contained.
I'm going to take that she's out. Okay then, episode 8. That was just... I really enjoyed that episode. I like stuff, funnily enough, about outbreaks and pandemics and not necessarily zombie apocalypses and stuff like that, but here we are in 2022. This was written back in late 2015, early 2016, long before anyone had heard of the word COVID. But that is what I was saying at the end there. That's what a lot of people have been fearful of. And the way the world has changed in the last 2 years as regards automation, no more cash, having everyone's file on record, everyone's DNA on record, every single person being vaccinated and sorted and categorized. I'll stop there at the conspiracy theory. I'll put down my Mulder hat. As regards the episode, really enjoyed it. Now, as far as I'm aware, that was no simulation. That's sure out. I didn't know how the hell she ended up in Johannesburg, which is why I was still thinking it was a simulation. But this is the problem with how many they've run on her. You lose your sense of reality completely. But I believe that is her out. I will beg to differ if something comes to light that it's not, but I think unlike that episode where we had with the whole damn thing was a simulation and I didn't realise right till the end, I don't think that is. Now that guy that they've used there, that operative agent, whatever you want to call him, who's been recruited after being in prison, did have a choice. Yes, I know that basically got him and he could possibly gone back to prison, but what you've determined there is he is prepared to do what it takes, which is exactly why Samaritan will want him as an agent and is going to give him a new identity, blah, 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 blah. And that he's an elite controller, i.e. you're a control group because you're the type of person that can contract something and so that can carry something and not contract it, or you can be immune. In particular for him with the avian flu, which is why they used him. But he was prepared to kill. So me saying about, an ex-con should always have a second chance. Yes, they should. But there's always the chance that will happen. That when push comes to shove, they will choose the continuation of their violent routes. Anyway, the fact that Samaritan managed to infiltrate the entire healthcare system without anyone knowing until this point, and has continued to do so. What are they going to do? They are losing POIs left, right and centre. This open system that has just shown how the machine managed to come up with an antiviral quick enough for a route to go and bring, shows that we need to do more. It is still losing the fight catastrophically against Samaritan, and I don't know where it's all going to end up. But that little scene with Elias, with Harold, where he's like, it's always the quiet ones we need to be careful of. I don't want to be around if you ever lose your shit one day, basically, because you're not quite sure what he's capable of. But the good is in him, so I don't know. Fusco, I really think that they've pushed the storyline as far as they could with Fusco to this point until they had to do what they've done there and have him literally walking away. Because as far as he's concerned, he is just not in the loop and he thinks it's something down to him. They're always pleading, it's because we're trying to protect you. We don't want to end up with you as another Shaw. But he's walked away from it now. And Elias only gave him that information because Harold wasn't prepared to tell him about his ex-partner. So he used that as a stab bag, definitely. Right, we'll be back with episode 9 in the next few days. If you've not already subscribed, guys, I would appreciate it if you would give the video a quick thumbs up and hit the sub button if you haven't already. If you want to watch the episode in full length, I'm sure you know by now, all you need to do is just check the links in the description. That will take you over to Patreon to watch the full length episode. Right, see you for the next one very soon. Take care.